Today on HJR Garage we have a true icon of the 1970s. This is a Suzuki GT750, nicknamed the Kettle in the UK. It is the first mass-produced Japanese liquid-cooled motorbike. It's also a two-stroke engine, 3-cylinder. So it's come into HJR Garage because it's got an exhaust leak. So we'll fix that and give you a little walk around. There it is then. Now the owner's going to kill me because he said it's not clean. It looks pretty good to me. What a beautiful bike. And this is the issue. You can see there's a residue here. This is the evidence. And we can see that just here, that bolt has fallen out. It has left the chat. And the threads inside here have gone. So we need to take this exhaust off. And then we're going to insert a thread insert, if you like, into here so we can bolt it back up again. That's the plan anyway, but just have a look at it. It's gorgeous. So this is my very old and trusty TIME-SERT set. It came from my granddad's motorbike shop in Old Trafford, Manchester, and it's still serving me well. So it is an M8 times 125. So what we'll do is take that exhaust off, drill it out with this, tap it with that, countersink it with that, then thread it in with that. So if you have watched this channel before, a lot of you won't know that I actually grew up on motorbikes. I was on the back of a motorbike at probably 4 years old. My dad had an Ariel Square 4 from 1954. And that's where my love of motors and stuff began, as well as his Jaguar XJS. So I am not offended by motorbikes at all. In fact, I love them. They are fantastic. We've spent many a day on the weekend at motorbike shows or car shows or whatever. It's a massive part of my childhood. So when I can get the chance to work on one, I will. We'll see if we can move this out of the way enough so that I can get my drill in. If not, I might have to take this side of the exhaust off. No, it looks like there's a little ridge there. So we're gonna have to figure out how this exhaust is attached on and just take it off. I could move that around there, but it doesn't really give me enough space. Obviously what's different about this is it is not my bike. So we've got to be extremely careful with it. Well, I wouldn't be anyway. Yeah, so if we undo this bolt behind the kickstand, lovely time for an aeroplane to come past. Undo this bolt, that should then pop off. Yeah, you can see it moving there. Let's do that. So let's get some spanners for that. So this bolt here behind the footrest is just a 14mm. Get this off. There we go. But allow me to take that off there. Leave all the bolts where they were. So obviously this one is now loose, so what we'll do is, just to stop the stress on that, we'll just pop that back through just to hold that in place, just for now. And now we've got good access to here. Have a look what we need to do. Obviously with it being a two-stroke, you do get oil coming out of the exhaust, so let's clean all this area up first. Give this a bit of a clean. Keep that separate down here. That's just a little gasket for the exhaust. Let's have a look at what this is like. Yeah, see, there's no thread there left whatsoever. Just put that in and out, so that's the issue. Give this a bit of a clean up as well. Only problem with working on two-stroke motorbikes and things is that they're always oily. That's good to go again. Right, let's get the drill out and drill and tap this. So I'm just going to stick this in the cylinder just in case anything wants to, any bits of metal want to fly into the engine, which I doubt they will, but you never know. I'm going to put that on a slow speed. Make sure we're drilling out central, although because it's already got a hole there, it will central us up anyway. Centralise us. There we go. That has been drilled out, so now we can tap it with this. Ideally, you should really use cutting compound for this. I tend to use copper slip. Just anything just to give it a little bit of kind of lubrication. Is that going to fit? No, I might be better doing that with a spanner. Get the first turns with that maybe. I do have a ratchet one of these somewhere. I don't know where it is. The idea is you get this started, and once it's started, you can then do a few turns in, a couple of turns back, and what you're doing is just clearing out the swarf that you're creating from doing the thread. So that's really starting to bite in now. As you're doing it, you can kind of feel it cut, and then as you move it backwards again, so it's cutting there, and then it's clearing it there. See how it then smooths up? I'm just going to find a ratchet or something to do this with. It's going to be a lot easier. Right. I've got this contraption now, so it should make it a bit easier. You see that thread's already cutting nicely. And back again. There we go. Nice thread that now. I always undo it by hand just to make sure the thread is nice and clear. Now the idea is you get this and you drill out the start of the thread there. Now you do that because these have like a little chamfer on them. So you use that, which has got like blades cut into it, to be able to get this in and chamfered. Very good, right. Now we're going to choose one that's going to go through the longest way without poking through the side, which is that one. And then you've got this, which has got like a square thread almost. And you use that to thread this in. So what we need is some Loctite on the outside of this actually as well. That is now tightening that in. Very good. That's nice and in there. And this should unscrew without bringing that insert out. So now you can see that threaded insert sits below the face, but we're going to be able to bolt something into a nice and hard steel thread instead of an aluminium one. Let's test the thread. Yep, that's the right thread. So now we can remove this, bolt that exhaust back up. Right, that's now held in place. We'll tighten that up in a minute. Let's get these threads in first. What we will just do is, it's got a bit of aluminium just stuck in here. Just see that. Just clean that out because we don't want to wreck our new thread. Nice and positive thread that now. Now we can start pushing this one in a bit more. So we just need to finish bolting up this back bit of the exhaust. At some point they're going to need threads on all of those. I've got it tight and it's in, but you can feel the threads on the other one wasn't, you know, ideal. It'll be all right for now. That looks about right. That's all bolted in. Right, let's start this and see if it's still leaking or not. Okay. This here looks a bit suspect. That'd be the speedo cable. Just as it was running then, it was just kind of moving around a bit. So you always find something else, don't you? So I think I'll just tighten that up for him. So just this speedo cable here. Hopefully that just little nip has stopped that little leak that was happening. Can't help myself. It is in surprisingly good condition, this bike, but it has been rid in the winter, so it needs a clean. Or road in the winter. But all of this looks brand new. Right, well there we go. We can give the owner a call and we can get him to come and pick it up again because it's in my way. See you later, bud. So there is another happy customer. Now, if you like this content of just my little fixes that I do just day to day, then subscribe to the channel, like the video and comment on it. And I'm going to try and put out some more of these style videos, of just little short kind of videos of just the fixes I do day to day. But if you're interested in some more longer content, then I've got Porsche and the MG that I spend a lot of time on. And I've got playlists for them, so go and check them out. And I'll see you next time.